Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. Tell me where is the road to less pain? How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by
AEW Dynamite. Anything but Dynamite. Another week, ladies and gentlemen, and another week that the company and the brain trust, Tony Khan, is completely useless. I don't get a sense that they know where they want to go, bro. What exactly on this show does anybody care about? What exactly does anybody get excited about on this show? We got great craps, JD. Great graps. But you know what? With all the problems, you know what exactly is going to fix all the problems? Let's sign another group of TNA talent. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a great stream. I can promise you that. And the Chi-Town Smark is back. And when we get to the venue, we're having a couple old fashions. I had a homemade triple shot latte earlier. I'm more than amplified. And when I get into the venue on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for January 14th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, joined by the one and only, the man himself is back, Tekla Jesse. The Chi-Town Smark. What's going on, brother?
What's going on with your brother?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Fightful is reporting that Hobbs is gone.
What?
Fightful is reporting that Powerhouse Hobbs deal with AEW is up at midnight.
Get out of here! Really?
And WWE sources believe that he is headed there.
Oh, man. Listen, man, we got to get a round of applause to that one. Oh, yeah.
Good for him, man.
Oh, my goodness. Bro, he is going to fucking kill it over there, man. Legitimately. With some fucking guidance and the way he looks. If he could stay healthy, bro, that's the next Bobby Lashley.
That's good for him. I'm a little worried about his skin tone. I'm not going to lie, but I don't know, man. but he should excel. He should excel, but
Bro,
I don't know, man.
Bro,
It's a real thing.
NXT could use him for a little bit, and then I could see him on the main roster within a year. Easy. He's 30. He's 34 years old, but I mean that didn't stop Ricky Starks or Ethan Page going down there. So, and I always think back to AJ Styles. AJ Styles when he went to WWE for the first time, he said that he wished he at least spent 6 months in NXT.
Yeah, I get it, man. They should do well by him, and I hope they do.
Yeah,
I hope they do because he deserves it, man. The guy is amazing.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought people in the chat were trolling. So we'll definitely get into that. I got the news article pulled up. We'll talk about that as well as the Rascals being signed by AEW away from TNA. So we'll talk about that. But I'm glad to have Jesse back. How you doing, man? Doing good?
Good, man.
Yep.
Feel good. It's a new year, man. Ready to get at it, bro.
All right, man. We got our first Dynamite show together here on this Wednesday. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday night. We're going to get into it. I don't know, man. Tonight's show, I know you've been watching from afar, and you do your watch-alongs over there. I know you're watching the same thing that I'm watching and watching the same thing that the chat's watching. But it is very difficult. And this is the same for WWE, too. They're not immune to this. There's really nothing terribly exciting going on over there, being that, Drew McIntyre just won the championship. That was the only thing of recent note, though, I could actually say that I'm excited about to see where they're going into WrestleMania season. I think the unpredictability is going to help them out if they book it the right way. But on AEW side of things, man, there's fucking nothing to get excited about over here, man. I think with what they're doing right now, there's no excitement. There's no real investment in story. There's not that one singular story that we could really sink our teeth into. And this is a common thing on this show. There's not that one singular story where we can sit down and dissect and wonder where it's going to go, what's going to happen to the characters, what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
There's no watching this show this week with the hopes of, man, I can't wait to watch next week's show. They don't leave you with anything, and it's just more of the same every single week. And I know a lot of people are feeling that. I am very much feeling that. I felt that for the most part of 2025. But man, how you feeling about this show, man? It's just terribly uneventful.
Well, this you went on a tangent on one thing, then asked me a different question. How I feel about wrestling in general or this show?
This show. I was using the wrestling in general to make it sound like this is just not an AEW problem. It's a pro wrestling problem.
No, I mean, yeah, no, I was mentioning in this earlier on my stream how we were talking about the original All In, and I was like, man, that was probably the last time that I was genuinely, both feet in, all invested, so excited about the pro wrestling industry itself. WWE was in a lull. The indies were starting to pick up a little momentum, and we started talking about Meltzer. That's how the original All In came up, because of how it started and how he was involved in it and shit like that. But man, it being there at that moment and that time, and it felt like the Woodstock of pro wrestling at that time, and it's just hasn't been the same since. Nothing in pro wrestling has got me that excited about any kind of events or feeling or anything like that since then. It just hasn't been it. Even with the emergence of the Bloodline storyline that we got after All In, that was great. That was fun, and that's how wrestling stories should be. That shouldn't be an anomaly. That shouldn't be like, remember the Bloodline thing? All of the main event storylines in pro wrestling should be that way. But we keep picking out this one. It's like when everybody goes back to the Attitude Era. Remember when wrestling was like the Attitude Era? We keep going back to that because that was the last time we all had that collective feeling, because nothing else has lived up to it since. All main event storylines should be like the Bloodline. Most pay-per-views should feel like we did at the original All In. We don't. They don't. Stories don't. And right here, we're just spinning our wheels. We're just here. And I've been getting that feeling about pro wrestling over the last few months, man. It's just I'm just here ready for disappointment, you know. I'm tired of sitting and watching my pro wrestling and looking for the things I don't like. You know, I want to just enjoy what's in front of me, and the things that I don't like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. All in all, I'm enjoying the show. We don't get that. You know, we sit and we just pull out the things we don't like, you know, and talk about it. Talk about wrestling used to be fun.
You got one guy who can't take any risks because he's got a bunch of suits and ties looking down on him. He's not really in charge of anything, though he is the figurehead of the company. And then you got this guy over here on Wednesday nights who's basically booking for himself, and he's going to play it off like he's booking for his sickos. He's not. He's booking for himself. Everything in pro wrestling is still very much the same as it was in 2025, and this show is in dire need of some sort of change. And creatively, they are absolutely somehow they started the year worse than they ended 2025. I don't know how that is even possible after last year being their worst creative year of all time. So we'll start tonight's discussion with Jesse, being that he's back. What was the biggest takeaway for you on this show, Jesse? What was the one thing that you want to start with and talk about here?
MJF and his match with Bandido. You know, great match. A little, what's the word? Predictable, you know?
Very much.
Did anybody think that Bandido was going to take the world title from MJF?
No.
You know?
Which hurt the match, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, but look, at least they didn't try to sell it as a pay-per-view, you know? And we talked about these feature shows, you know, when we talked about that long stretch between pay-per-views. That they need to do these feature shows like this, but this one just seemed like they just decided to call it something. There was no real build to it, so it wasn't really a special show. I mean, they had the right idea, but they didn't really live up to it in the build. So.
But what is a Maximum Carnage though? I thought this whole thing was centered around like Carnage, the comic book character. No.
I don't know what was different from this Dynamite from any other Dynamite would be my question.
Nothing. There's nothing different.
You know, if you're gonna call it a special event, if you're gonna call it a special Dynamite, if you want to build it up as such, feel free. But as a fan, I am going to expect something more that I would normally not get on any other episode of Dynamite. And I don't feel like this happening. I mean, was it commercial free? Hey, tell me that the special highlighted shows are going to be commercial free throughout the whole show. That's different. That's major, you know? Okay. You know, do we get special commentary? Do we get anything out of the ordinary? We don't. So if that's not going to happen, I don't think we should be making them special episodes because they're not fucking special.
Yeah, there certainly wasn't any Carnage chat on this show. MJF, you know, we're both glad. I think a lot of people are glad that he's the world champion because he's the biggest starter that they got. No doubt about it. Him as the heel world champion is going to hopefully create some great dynamic with all the baby faces chasing the champion, such as Swerve Strickland, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay when he gets back, Darby Allin potentially, Mark Briscoe potentially, so on and so forth. There's a lot of guys that MJF can work with as a top heel, top champion in the company. Now, I will give both of these guys all the credit in the world. MJF, he tried his damnedest to make sense of this nonsensical bullshit because Tony is still living in the past with this Dynamite Diamond Ring nonsense. MJF has 6 of these fucking things, and now this year it's Bandido. Bandido will not use the Dynamite Diamond Ring in any meaningful way because he's a babyface. MJF used it for the last 6 years as a crutch to win matches. So that's why he got away with it. And I don't know why we're still doing it if MJF is not really the original holder now of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. It's a tired concept in a company that has fucking consolation prizes given out to everybody so that they can feel important. We don't need to do that. So that's the only reason why this came about, because Bandido won a fucking battle royal to wrestle a loser like Ricochet to become the #1 contender for this championship. Bandido's the best luchador in the world. He is incredible. I love him. I think he's excellent, and he should absolutely be in contention for a world championship at some point in the future. MJF, he tried to make sense of the storyline to give us something to sink our teeth into with a match that had 2 weeks build. he did what he could last week to have a nice segment with Bandido to make the match feel important. But the thing is, MJF can do all that he can to make it feel important. The one thing, the one crutch that this match was always going to be hindered by was the fact that this match was super, super predictable. So when you have a world champion who just won the championship 2 weeks ago and crown a number one contender that nobody expects to win, and then you do the match, all you're left with is a great match with no story, Jesse. And that's exactly what we got tonight. No matter how good the match was, and I do think that they held back a little bit. I didn't think it was like, oh my God, you got to go out and watch this thing. It's fucking unbelievable. They didn't deliver a pay-per-view caliber match or anything on Dynamite. It was good. But the fact that it was predictable, there's a lot of what we say every single week. We sound like a broken record, and whether you agree with us or not, we don't really give a shit. Story is 50% of the battle. So they were wrestling a match tonight that didn't include any story whatsoever. So they were wrestling at half emotion tonight. What could they possibly do to make me give a shit about this match when we all know the outcome before the match even starts?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, maybe there could have been something, but that's creative's job to figure out, and they did not do that. I mean, because I knew who was going to win, so there was no excitement there. I know they're great wrestlers, so you're not going to tell me anything I don't already know there. So you're just spinning my wheels, man. I mean, we know the outcome, and there was no surprise in the middle that, I didn't see that coming. Okay, that's great. That was fun. That was different. No, the match was great. Of course it is. You have two fantastic wrestlers in the ring. The outcome, predictable. We knew who was going to win that. So why, what am I looking forward to there? Not only that, what did you give me to look forward to after this?
Well, I mean, I was going to let you start this off because after the match was over, we got the one thing that I was hoping we would get because they've been doing absolutely nothing with him since the start of the year. And that's Brody King, who came out to save Bandido from having his mask ripped off by MJF. So, Jesse, in your view, do you see them now setting Brody King up as the next challenger for MJF before we start getting into the big hitters like a Swerve and a Hangman and an Omega or Will Ospreay, Darby Allin? Is Brody King the first to step up to the plate and give MJF a real challenge for the World Championship potentially going into Revolution?
I sat right here in this very spot talking about this very man being moved to the main event scene and being pushed like the killer that he is. And yes, looks like they're in position to do that. This is not what I was asking for. All right. All you're getting ready to do is exactly what you did to Bandido. And basically you're about to feed him to MJF. All right. That's not what I was asking for. I was asking for a legitimate main event push, something of significance, maybe a heel turn. Doesn't have to be a heel turn, but it does need to be something significant as far as storyline development. I want to see him go on a hot streak. I want to see him take his storyline into the main event scene and then get to the point where he's a credible challenger for the world title and then eventually win it. You're just about to feed him to MJF because that's what you did to his tag team partner. This is not what I was asking for, no.
And it's the same thing that MJF's been doing. He did it with Mystico. He did it with someone else before that, too. Tries to steal the mask. Tries to disrespect the Lucha tradition. And then out comes Brody King to save Bandido from being unmasked by MJF, the heel. Now, you look at Brody King, he looks like a world championship type of guy. And I don't look at Brody King as the type of guy to be, A, wrestling fucking standby matches, or B, being thrown into a feud with the predictable outcome of him losing to someone like MJF. Brody King should be built up as a monster. Brody King should be built up as a credible threat to your championship. And no matter what they do there, we all know at the end of this that MJF is not going to lose to Brody King. So why would you put Brody King in a position to lose just to set up a decent challenge for a heel champion in MJF in Brody King? It doesn't matter the size of Brody King. The outcome is still the same. The story is what's going to make it believable. Are you going to treat this as a situation that you're going to push us to think that MJF has a realistic chance of losing this championship? No. No, they're not. So why would I want to invest my time in Brody King when we all know the outcome, like Jesse said, is going to be the same thing that we all felt coming into this match with Bandido? Brody King deserves better than that.
Yep.
Now I was thinking, it's funny you mentioned the heel turn. I will ask you, because I don't know if this is exactly where they may be thinking, but do you sense that Brody may turn on Bandido at the end of all this?
He could, and I thought about it as he was in the ring, but I just don't want another haphazard heel turn. You know, I mean, he's working right now. He's over as a babyface. You can come up with a decent storyline for him and advance him to the main event scene as a babyface just as easily as a heel. You got MJF as already a heel, so I mean, so what are we doing now? Are we gonna build him up as a heel and keep him away from the world title scene as you build him up to be a main eventer? I'd be okay with that. That'd be logical. Turn him heel, have him go on a tear, keep him away from MJF in the main title picture, but give him something of interest to sink his teeth into, keep him on TV, make him a big goddamn deal, and then eventually MJF loses the title to a babyface, and then up comes a Brody King. That's very possible, you know, but none of that stuff is what we're gonna get. We're just gonna get him being fed to MJF and then probably end up on Ring of Honor at some point. You know, I mean, which is a crying shame, man. The guy needs to be at the top of the card, but you have to build him up. You just can't take him out of what he was doing, then put him up there and tell us he's a main eventer. You have to convince us he's a main eventer. You know, put him in some high-profile matches. Maybe get him a couple of mid-card titles. You got 100 of them. You know, give him a good run with those. Give him a good storyline, and eventually get him to the main event scene. And he's one of your top guys for the long haul.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to put him in a position that way. And the more they keep doing what they're doing here, the less we're going to give a shit about Brody King. That's what I have to say about that. But that was the only legitimate, important thing on this show. And there's a lot to dissect here and a lot to kind of rant about, honestly. I'm going to try and get you guys through this tonight. I thank you for joining us here with Jesse back on the show. Happy to have him here. We're going to get into this. Some major news here tonight, apparently. Will Hobbs is going to WWE. Tonight he finished up. Apparently, according to Sean Ross Sapp, we'll get into it at the top here. He finished up at the end of tonight's Dynamite and Collision taping. So we will discuss that. Right now, he is still currently the AEW Trios champion alongside Katsuyori Shibata and Samoa Joe. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. They did make a match for Saturday's Collision for those Trios championships. So I do wonder if they're going to take the belts off of them and put them on Adam Page and the JetSpeed fellows. So we'll talk about that. The Rascals from TNA, all four of them, Desmond Xavier, who was formerly Wes Lee, Zachary Wentz, Myron Reed, and who's the other one? Trey Miguel, all going to AEW. They're leaving TNA. We'll talk about that. I got both stories pulled up here. We'll talk about that at the top of the hour here. And we'll get into the rest of your Dynamite Post show right here on Off the Script. This is your Dynamite Post for January 14th, 2026. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Thank you guys very much for all the Cameo love. We fulfilled a couple of cameos this past weekend. You guys are awesome. I do birthdays. I do shout-outs. I do trolling. If you guys want me to go out and troll somebody or talk trash on somebody, it is all game on Cameo. So thank you guys for that. Please follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark. Everything you need is there on screen for his ex. YouTube at Chi-Town Smark as well. Please go and follow him on YouTube as well. Fill us in on what's going on, Jesse. What's happening with the tube?
The tube of you. We are. I'm still. I'm still in the process of revamping, man. This is a straight up process. I do have an editor. I hired an editor, and
oh yeah, do we know this editor?
I got her at a pretty good deal.
Ah, okay.
We'll just leave it at that. It's my wife. Okay, so yeah, so. Well, I didn't know she had an editing background. She's got some background in editing. Yeah, she does now.
Okay.
And we got her in the school of hard knocks of editing, man, and she's hit the ground running. To be honest with you, she's already, set some stuff up and gathering content and everything like that. So, I'm gonna start putting out some different kinds of videos, a little bit different variety here and there. And if I have an editor that can just break stuff down and make videos as I produce the raw material, I can get a lot more content out. So I'm kind of excited about 2026, man.
All right, there you go. We got to make the most of it. So I know January is typically the slowest portion of the year, so it's been very slow with the news and with the streams, and everybody's just concentrating on the football playoffs and going into the Super Bowl, and hopefully when we get to the Royal Rumble, things are going to really pick up, hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed. But go follow Jesse and support him on YouTube, and I'm sure we'll be doing something over there together within the new year as we talked about. But make sure you guys go and support here as well. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 750 likes on tonight's stream. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of all the top stories, including Powerhouse Hobbs on his way to WWE, the Rascals on their way to AEW, and what you thought of tonight's Dynamite down in the comment section. And Super Chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. It's the best way to support the podcast here on Wednesday nights. That's via the Super Chat. We are going to get some content out there, obviously, tomorrow with this Powerhouse Hobbs news. So I'll be making a standalone video on that tomorrow. And we are in the process of rolling out some short-form content on the regular. So make sure you guys are social media'd on the TikTok and the Instagram. There'll be content going up there, and I'm going to try and do that semi-regularly. We got to get something going here, and we got to get the content out there to the masses, man. I want to make this year bigger and better than ever. So, let's start with the news. Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW. He's been a day oneer. We've seen him grow from basically nothing to becoming a major, I don't want to say major factor on the show, but he was one of the more featured prominent stars on the show on a semi-regular basis here. Powerhouse Hobbs is on the move, says Sean Ross Sapp. Fightful Selects, Sean Ross Sapp has reported that Powerhouse Hobbs' AEW contract is set to expire at midnight. As things stand, they are told that the contract negotiations have been ongoing between the two sides, and AEW made him a substantial offer to remain with AEW. Hobbs finished up tonight at the AEW Collision tapings after Dynamite. WWE sources that Fightful Select spoke to claim that he is expected to join the company. He is contractually eligible to do so as of this week. WWE has maintained interest in him for quite some time, and they believe he's headed there, barring some huge unforeseen change. It was noted that AEW made Hobbs a huge offer, and they put in quotes, huge offer to remain with the company, and that he is leaving on good terms. Everybody leaves on good terms. AEW and Hobbs have been negotiating for the last number of months, and the offer we heard was substantial, but Hobbs wanted to test the waters. There had been some rumors bubbling under a few months ago that he could be headed to WWE, but we were told here at Fightful they had not been in contact at that point. There was interest in Hobbs a couple of years ago from WWE when Dan Ventrell was heading up talent relations, but Hobbs stayed with AEW. It says a lot, Jesse. It's in the report, and they mention it twice, not once, but twice. Huge offer and substantial offer. Tony offered Powerhouse Hobbs to stay, and he's on his way to WWE, and no amount of money was going to be able to keep Hobbs because of whatever reasons Hobbs has come up with. He wants to test the waters. Now, I'll leave that up to interpretation. We can all kind of see through the writing on the wall here. Hobbs, he knows that there's, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm gonna say what I feel is the situation. This is my opinion. It has nothing to do with anybody or Jesse or anybody in the chat. Hobbs realizes that there is no growth in AEW. None. Hobbs was going to be in the same position he was now. And he has been there since day one. And he has seen people stay and stay for reasons with hopes of a better future. And nothing has happened. In a year where AEW doesn't need any talent at all because 70% of their roster remains unused. Powerhouse Hobbs became one of the more prominent figures on the show and one of the biggest groups on the show, and he was basically the muscle to the AEW World Champion for about 2 months in Samoa Joe. He gave, Joe did, Hobbs a spot in the ops, and he was great at his role, and that's all he would have ever amounted to, and that's the God-honest truth. Now he goes to WWE, where he's going to be a big fish in a small pond. He has TV time on a major nationally televised wrestling promotion in AEW. He knows exactly how TV works. He's going to have the proper tutelage. He's going to have the proper coaches. He's going to have the guidance to give him some sort of creative that AEW was never going to offer him. And he's taking less money to do all that because Will Hobbs values his career more than anything. And that goes to show you that money is not everything. And I'm happy he made the decision to better his career because we always see people take the money and then get complacent because they're making money and that's all they really want is the paycheck. So I appreciate and respect Will Hobbs for making this decision because I'm sure it wasn't an easy one and he's putting his career first. That means he loves pro wrestling. So I very much can't wait to see what he does. And I would put him on NXT being that roster is absolutely fucking depleted to fucking no end. And they lost half of their roster to the main roster. And I think he goes there on day one, and he could absolutely walk out with the NXT Championship that is vacant now if he's going to be able to sign with them immediately. So, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Jesse, but I think this is not only a great move for WWE, but this is an even better move for Powerhouse Hobbs.
I think this is a fantastic opportunity for Hobbs that I'm pretty sure he's been dreaming about, since he ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring. So, I mean, it's this is also a part of the reason why WWE just hates the existence of AEW, because if Tony Khan offered this guy that much, we know WWE couldn't pay him as much as what Tony Khan was offering, but you also know that it did drive up the market value. And that is the thing that they hate as much, because Hobbs is probably making more money than he would have had Tony Khan not offered this guy the world. But I agree. I'm sure he took a pay cut because I'm pretty sure that they're not going to offer him more than what Tony Khan was going to offer.
Never.
Because he did not want to lose somebody like a Powerhouse Hobbs to WWE. So I could only imagine how much he offered him. But I'm happy for Hobbs. I'm proud of the guy. We watched him develop. We watched him grow. We all, tweeted and we all hashtag. We wanted to see more Hobbs and everything like that. And we did get more Hobbs. We just didn't get the right amount of Hobbs. I mean, he just never went to the levels that we kind of hoped that he did. So hopefully he will over in WWE. Not everybody goes over. It's not all sunshine and rainbows over in the E chat. I mean, I need everybody to keep those expectations in check. Not everybody goes over there and just, lights the world on fire. But we'll get a chance to see if Hobbs can get over on a worldwide stage. And I'm here for it, man. I want to see how he does.
Well, someone in the chat, Carol22 in the chat says, SAP and bodyslam.net are saying Hobbs is going directly to the main roster. Now, I think that would be a mistake at this juncture. I don't think they need him right now. I mean, they just supplied the main roster with a bunch of talent and continue to do so and will continue to do so, especially on the women's side. So I don't think we need Powerhouse Hobbs on Monday or Friday just yet. I think the necessity right now is Tuesday night, where they have now filled those gaps with a lot of evolved talent that nobody really knows of. So you put Powerhouse Hobbs on Tuesday night, he's automatically one of the biggest stars on the fucking brand. So I don't really get a sense that would make a lot of sense to put him on the main roster. But if they say it, we'll see how it transpires. But I don't really think they know where exactly he's going. But they did report today that he is going to WWE. Substantial offer from Tony Khan to maintain Powerhouse Hobbs services was not enough to keep him. So he's going to WWE, and his contract is up at the end of this week. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we will monitor the situation as we see Will Hobbs imminently debuting on WWE television. The other talent that's making a move from TNA to AEW is the Rascals. Now, apparently, this was something that came about in the first week of January. The Rascals are all elite. The Rascals are backstage at AEW tonight and are officially signed to the company. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has also confirmed this news this evening. All four of them, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel, are all signed to AEW. Fightful Select confirmed that the group has been signed since the first week of January at the latest, with the group signing multi-year deals and leaving TNA. There was an effort on TNA's part to retain the team, but we're told that AEW came with a better offer. Myron Reed's planned match with Leon Slater was supposedly pulled from the advertisements for this week's TNA on AMC debut, which is happening tomorrow. It was communicated to us that Myron Reed would still have happily worked the committed date. The match was canceled because of WWE possibly wanting Leon Slater for this week's European tour. That's bullshit. They didn't want a contracted AEW talent working with TNA who's in partnership with WWE. There's nothing to do with Leon Slater working the European tour. Give me a break. Myron Reed and Desmond Xavier were never under TNA contracts, which is ridiculous. And both Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz deals expired at the end of 2025. There was at least one member of the group who was determined to leave TNA, but they felt like they all left on good terms. I'll let you start with this one, Jesse. I want to collect my thoughts for a little bit because I will probably have a lot to say on this. I know you watched TNA and continue to semi-regularly keep up with the brand, so you know who these guys are. What does this mean to TNA to lose these guys? And what exactly do you see them doing in AEW that we haven't really seen from them before?
I don't think it's gonna hurt TNA at all. They've all on some level already have been in and out of TNA as it is, and we can't even put our finger on the time periods, but they've all been in and out of TNA, and they're great when they're together. I would love to know if Killer Kelly comes as a package deal for this though. That'd be fantastic.
They didn't bring her back either. She's a free agent.
She's a free agent. Oh man, if they pull Killer Kelly along with Myra, man, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But I'm gonna be honest here, man. I mean, that's all I know how to be. I don't see this as any kind of blockbuster deal. I'd be more concerned about losing Will Hobbs than bringing in all four of the Rascals. I mean, they've already brought in Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight from TNA. I mean, and let's be honest here. Let's put our cards on the table. We see these guys quite often. We do see them in matches. We have seen them on television. They even try to do a little something with them tonight and next week going forward. But let's be real here. Has Mike Bailey or Kevin Knight or Josh Alexander done anything of significance in AEW as they got them from TNA? No. I don't see the Rascals doing anything more either. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple of great tag teams in there. You got a great trios team in there. Great wrestlers, fantastic wrestlers, bro. It is nothing against the talent, but they are entering a creative program where, to be honest, it's not always very creative. Are they going to get these Rascals over? Are we going to do anything special with them? Or are you just going to put them on TV and bring them out to do some high spots? No real story behind it, and we're going to get lost in the shuffle. I could see the Rascals getting lost in the shuffle here in AEW, unfortunately.
I look at this signing, and I want to piggyback off what Jesse said about their talents. I want to start positive. Zachary Wentz, Wesley, Desmond Xavier, Miguel, and Myron Reed are all incredibly talented guys. All four of them. When they were in NXT, known as MSK, they were easily the best tag team down there. They injected life into that division until Zachary Wentz got fired for something that apparently blew up on social media because of his ex-wife getting really, really vindictive and petty. And he went on to do what he needed to do. He landed with Sami Callihan and Wrestling Revolver, and he worked indies, and he worked in TNA and went back to TNA, and the Rascals got back together. So he got his life back, he got his career back, and good for them, and good for all four of them. I am glad that there is an opportunity for guys like this who are going to be able to make as much money as they possibly can and probably are making more money now than they ever have in their entire career. The problem is, I look at this, and again, I'm going to piggyback off Jesse because he mentioned Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander, and we just brought in Jake something. Does anybody remember Ace Austin? Do you know where Ace Austin is? Has anybody heard of Ace Austin on AEW television? Ace Austin was one of the more premier talents coming over from TNA. Where exactly is he? What impact has he made? No pun intended, on AEW television. He's been buried on Collision, and most of the time he's not even featured as a talent on Collision. AEW has a roster full of talent where 70% or more don't even get used. Yet the main problem with this show is giving everybody television time and creatively keeping everybody happy. The company is suffering from the worst creative that they've ever seen in 7 years, coming out of last year and right on into this year. What exactly do you think the Rascals are going to do? Signing the Rascals are going to do for your program? There are other major problems that you need to tackle. It's not bringing in more talent. So I don't really get a sense that they're going to be doing anything on television worth anything. You're going to feature them for a couple of weeks, make them feel special, and they'll probably end up on fucking Collision or, worst case, Ring of Honor. So what exactly are we going to do with these guys? What impact are they going to make on television? See, the problem that I see with this is you had a lot of talents, namely Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho, who publicly came out and praised TNA for the work that they did in 2025. Jericho, namely, who's on his way to WWE, who went out and said that the production of TNA's biggest shows of the year, Bound for Glory, Slammiversary, with the crowds that they drew, sometimes they outdrew AEW television shows. Sometimes they outdrew AEW on pay-per-view with the amount of audience that they drew to those shows. Chris Jericho publicly stated this year that TNA looked to him like the number 2 promotion in the United States. Matt Hardy went on his podcast with the AMC deal, and it's all hearsay because he's a TNA talent, saying that they're gunning for number 2, that what they're going to do and what they're going to create is going to propel TNA to be a number 2 company. When I hear this from 2 Hall of Fame talents, you don't think Tony Khan listens to that and it fucking gets underneath his skin? Nobody finds it to be funny that TNA talent all of a sudden is starting to land in AEW with these big money offers. How much money do you got to throw around to guys that aren't going to make an impact on your television show as far as a ratings, a demo, or bringing in people to a live gate? This is not the priority that Tony Khan needs to focus on. The priority needs to be the fucking creative and getting right creatively because the show is suffering for it. It doesn't matter what talent you bring into the company. If the creative is not there, everybody's going to feel the same. Additionally, you brought in 4 guys. 4 guys. And again, they're fucking great. 4 guys who all do the same thing that 90% of that roster does. What exactly are you going to do to make them stand out from everybody else? You do realize that Ricochet came on in and he felt the same as everybody else immediately before he started to turn heel. And now he's nothing more than a fucking jobber. So what exactly are you going to do to make sure these guys feel different, look different, wrestle different? I'm not saying that they need to change their style dramatically, but you're going to bring in these guys when you got Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight and all these other smaller guys that are doing the same exact thing that they're doing. What is AEW going to do to make them feel special? That's what I'm going to be looking for. And nobody finds it to be funny, huh? The media is going to jump all over this. Sapp and John Alba and all these AEW bought and paid for media outlets. You people don't realize that Tony Khan has the media in his pocket. He has the media wrapped around his fingertips. These people do not say anything negatively about AEW. They always carefully choose their words. We are independent of the big-time mainstream media journalists. We can say and do whatever the fuck we want. So I'm going to say and do whatever the fuck I want. You want to know what the real problem is? TNA is losing talent, which is on them. But when you look at it for what it really is, Tony Khan has the media paid for, and he's bringing in TNA talent because of everything that has been said about TNA landing on AMC. And now he's finding himself fighting for a number 3 spot in the United States with the number 3 promotion in TNA instead of battling for the number 1 position, because he's absolutely lost that fucking battle with no recovery whatsoever. So now he's lowered himself to battling for the number 3 spot, and he doesn't want to be number 3. So how is he going to combat that? By taking all the talent that TNA doesn't financially have the money for to bring them on into AEW. So he's going to convince himself that he's harming TNA who's in partnership with WWE. That's exactly why he's doing it. He's not doing it because he wants this talent. He's doing it because he feels like he's hurting WWE by hurting TNA. That's exactly what he's doing. And in closing, Tony Khan says he loves pro wrestling. For the love of pro wrestling, right? The more you watch Tony Khan operate, does he really love pro wrestling, or does he just love owning talent and pretending like he's got a bunch of different trophies on his toy shelf? If he loved pro wrestling would be healthy. Everybody else that he signs from all these companies, you're actively taking talent away from these companies. So from the way that I look at it, he's already killed TNA. He takes the talent and he gives them the opportunity to work dates when he says so on the indies, because I felt that personally. And he's trying to hurt TNA now. So the lover of all pro wrestling is quite honestly becoming a mini Vince McMahon with the way he's throwing money around and utilizing this talent for nothing. So what exactly does this move benefit AEW for, or in any way possible? I'd love for somebody to fill me in on all that. That's what you're not going to hear from Alba. That's not what you're going to hear from Sap. You're going to hear it from us right here. That's exactly why they signed the Rascals. Now, I don't give a shit what they do or how they are treated. I'm just going to sit here and give you the fucking opinion that I always do. But these are questions that I've had when I read the article. So what are you going to do to prove me wrong? Nothing. Just look at Josh Alexander, former fucking face of the company. What is he doing? At best, he's a number 7 in the Don Callis family. I rest my case. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, man, for sure. It's you know, these talents are they're all siphoning from each other. You know, let's keep it a buck, man. As we're sitting there talking about the Rascals coming in, AEW just lost Hobbs to WWE. You don't think there's any contract tampering there? How are we already talking about Hobbs going to WWE when his contract is not even up for another hour or so? That's contract tampering.
I'm sure. Listen, WWE, I'm sure, is contract tampering. I'm sure of it.
You know, they are watching and waiting, and get inside people, get friends talking to friends about whose contract is up when and stuff like that. I just saw another name in the chat about someone possibly leaving AEW right away to go to WWE because her contract is up. I want to try to give some validity to this before I say anything about it.
Anna Jay?
No. Jamie Hayter.
Oh, she's good as gone, bro. She's as good as gone.
Maybe. Don't know. You know, but this is what they all do. They all steal from each other, man, left and right. They all use back channels to find out if Hobbs' contract is up tonight, why are we already talking about him going to WWE? Why? How? How are they already in contact with him? It's fucking contract tampering. That they all do it to each other.
I'm sure they already have a contract drafted for him as soon as the clock strikes midnight in 30 minutes.
That's what I mean, man. It's that this is what they all do. They wait for contracts to come up and they all start putting out feelers, putting out soft offers. And it happened with Mariah May. You know what I'm saying? We all knew Jade Cargill was going to WWE and she was still on fucking TV in AEW. You know, they do this shit left and right. They just pick out from each other all the time. We know Jericho's going back. We just found out about Hobbs and he's not even a free agent yet. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. This is nothing new. This is no kind of secret, you know, plan from Tony Khan to take from TNA to hurt WWE. Bro, this is what they do. This is how they come up with new talent. This is what they do. And sometimes it's a big acquisition. Most of the time, it's a big letdown. You know what I'm saying? Jade Cargill has done nothing. She has not gotten any better in the ring. She's still Jade Cargill. She's still a nice presence, but she still can't fucking wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody goes to the main event of WrestleMania that switch. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to the talent to get themselves over. That's why I'm excited for Will Hobbs. I think he has what it takes, man. I truly do. You know, I think he stands out from everyone else, but it's just a matter of how he's booked and treated, though. I'm interested to see how they do with him.
Wes Lee, unfortunately, had to work solo when Zachary Wentz got fired. And Wes Lee showed you how good he could really be as a single. I remember he feuded with Dijak over the North American Championship on NXT television, and he really captivated the audience, and he really got the audience to emotionally invest in who he was as a character, as a babyface. So I ask you, Jesse, and I feel like this is a big topic because they're coming in, all four of them, and I'm sure they'll be exciting and everybody's going to be wowed by their athleticism. What are they going to do to make these guys stand out? What are they going to do in AEW that we haven't seen already from anybody in AEW? Is that a problem to you?
That's a big problem because I don't think they're going to do anything special with them. They're going to bring them in, let them showcase what they can do, tell us how great they are in the ring, and that's it. That is it. Are they going to come in as some outlaw group and cause havoc and change the landscape of a few storylines? Are they going to come in and take some main guys out? You know what I'm saying? And start a crew? Are they going to do anything special? No, they're going to be in some nice matches. If history has taught us anything, they're going to lose their first match. It's just nothing exciting. They're just going to come over and wrestle. We've seen them wrestle. That's how we know we're good. What are they going to do different here is the point they need to be making. What is going to make them special here? I don't think there's going to be anything fantastic about it. So I'm not excited about this move. I'm happy for them. Happy for all those guys. They're all great, man. And getting into a larger brand like AEW from where they're coming from is a dream come true. In 5 years, they could be on their way to WWE as well. It's a graduation process. I started in the Indies. I got to TNA. I made it to AEW, then I got to WWE. Good for them, though.
A lot of people in the chat are asking, where's Britt Baker? You know where Britt Baker is. Britt Baker is being held captive until her contract is up because Tony won't release her because he knows exactly where she's going to end up. That's why. No, but this man loves all pro wrestling, though. Where's Thunder Rosa? Where's Private Party? Where's Camille? How many talents does he have employed that he's actively paying and not doing anything with, but refuses to release because he knows exactly where they're going to end up?
Could be worse. He could be not paying them and then giving them a 1-year non-compete clause.
Yeah, but that got taken care of, though.
Thank God.
Yeah, Mr. 1-year non-compete is back on AEW television, wrestling Angelico on Saturday's Collision.
Can't wait. Woohoo.
So that's the news there. Rascals joining AEW, Powerhouse Hobbs joining WWE, and we'll definitely keep an eye on both of those situations. Anna Jay is in the rumor mill as well. Her contract is coming due very soon, with rumors of her ending up in WWE, which I honestly think that would be a great move for her as well, to be in the NXT system if she still wants to really take this pro wrestling thing to be a serious career. But we will follow that, and when more news is available on that, we'll let you guys know. We start the show off, Jesse. Maximum Carnage, Darby Allin versus Pac. We love Pac. I think we've made that abundantly clear. We love Pac. We think Pac is fantastic. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Okay, Darby Allin, for the most part, is entertaining. I have grown tired of Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin is the same thing every single time. It's like he gets beat up for 80% of the match and then comes back and wins the match. I know Jesse likes Darby Allin's death-defying attributes and risks, and he finds him entertaining, which is fine. But I have a problem with this, though, Jesse. The problem is, and a lot of, again, the media and the journalists and the sickos, that they really have a one-track mind. The way that I think kind of leads me to being one of the more misinterpreted guys in the community, one of the more misunderstood guys in the community. So I'm going to lay it out to everybody where I think about, or what I think about this storyline here. Darby Allin climbed Mount Everest. For all we know, Darby Allin was supposedly going to be the world champion at All In. He was supposed to be the one to take down Jon Moxley. I firmly believe that. Tony Khan went with Adam Page because of the whole Cowboy in Texas theme, and Hangman was slotted in there to take down Jon Moxley and dethrone the world champion and free the world championship from its briefcase. That was supposed to be Darby Allin. Darby Allin came back at All In. He didn't really play a factor in helping Jon Moxley lose the championship. He was there, and it was all about Swerve and the chain, and Hangman won the championship. So then we get Darby kind of cutting down the Death Riders one by one and he gets into the Death Rider feud, picking up where he should have been in April, going into All In. He picks up the feud, and he beats Yuta. He beats Garcia, the lower end guys, Claudio. He's in the Continental Classic. He gets injured. He's in the same block as Pac. He was supposed to get his win back over Pac. Pac beat him at Full Gear. So we're now in a situation with Darby Allin, who wanted to end the Death Riders and take out Jon Moxley. Now he's withered down to nothing, wrestling the Henchman, looking for a one-token victory over the guy he hasn't beaten in the Death Riders. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley is still running roughshod over AEW. Jon Moxley, for better or worse, is stronger now than he was before. He's the Continental Champion. He just won the Continental Classic. He's getting cheers. He's a de facto babyface. His power is growing week by week. And the Death Riders are still the Death Riders. They're still very much running the show. They're the biggest faction on the show. So what exactly are we doing with this storyline? Darby is now chasing a victory that he didn't have. Meanwhile, the Death Riders and Jon Moxley are stronger than they've ever been. So it almost seems to me that AEW has lost the plot to their own story. So when you look at this, how could you possibly give a single shit about what's going on when AEW seemingly doesn't give a shit about the fucking story? How can anybody care about him winning over Pac, but the Death Riders are still running the show?
Nah, make a good point. I still understand how this guy's a babyface and the Death Riders are all heels.
I don't get it.
Not one bit.
No explanation with anything. He wrestles these matches. He goes 20 minutes. He gets cheered. He's the champion. He's pro AEW now, and no explanation about why he's all pro AEW, but the rest of the group is acting like heels.
I don't get it. They forgot that he was on a losing streak. You know, they never played that up.
None of them had a problem with him cutting that babyface promo either.
Nope. Claudio kind of looked at him side out a little bit, but
what are we doing here, man? What are we doing? Nobody looks at this in the company and says, we have a problem here, man. This doesn't make sense. We need to fix this. Darby's chasing a win over a henchman. Yep. Meanwhile, the guy who's leading the group is stronger than ever. So what exactly was his mission? What is he going to do after this? Is he still going to try and take down the Death Riders? Or is he's one of those guys that doesn't give a shit anymore? Like everybody else. I don't know. He did wrestle Pac tonight. It wasn't bad. Darby got his win back. You know, William Regal put out that tweet, Jesse, about everybody playing it safe and they should really take the risks and tone them down and don't go out there and do what he did foolishly. You know, he mentioned his neck and he showed some x-rays of his broken neck back in the early 90s. This was obviously after the Kyle Fletcher-Jon Moxley spot at World's End where Kyle Fletcher almost fucking killed himself. Or Moxley almost killed Kyle Fletcher with the suplex off the top rope. You know, the safest company in the world, Tony Khan, went on a media storm saying that nobody's ever been radically injured in AEW. Adam Cole. Everybody seems to forget about that, though, right? Darby took a overhead suplex on the stairs tonight. I know you saw it. I know you know what I'm talking about. Why would a spot like that need to be done in a match like this in front of 2,500 people on a random Wednesday? What point does that prove? Why can't we just tone it down a little bit on the weekly shows and save that shit for when it really matters? This is why I went on a tangent about what's the consequence on this show. You see something like that, it's like, oh, you know, whatever. It's like a fucking body slam on AEW television. So why do they continue to do it even after William Regal defiantly came out and said, please stop. I would like to see the industry be a little bit more fruitful with a lot of the talent today, more healthier than I was. Why do they continue to be defiant?
I don't know what to tell you, man. Wish I did, but I don't. I took a whole stance on this early on my stream, but I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, because to lead off first and foremost, I mean, he's right. You know, Regal's right. He's not wrong. He's 100% right. You know, I mean, back in his day, things were different. You know, I equated Regal to being the old guy on the front porch shaking his fist at the kids because they're not doing the things the way that he used to do them back in the day, you know. But I'm pretty sure if you would have asked the old guys before Regal what they thought about the Regal's era, they would have shaken their fist at them and said, that's not the right way to do it, you know, blah, 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 you know, this, you know. Whose grandpa sits around and says, yeah, you know what? You kids got the right music. Our music back in the day is trash. Your music is great. All the old timers think the old stuff is done better. But at the end of the day, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You know, they are doing dangerous stunts out there because the business is increasingly evolving. Because the stuff that worked 20 years ago, you had a different breed of fans. They had a different expectation when they watched a wrestling match. You know, 20, 30 years later, I'm sorry, you know, your pile driver is not going to end the match anymore. You know, the business has evolved. Now, is it their own undoing? You know, the pro wrestlers? Is it the fans' thirst for creativity and just different and just something not the same? I don't know. But you can't give people the same thing that you've been giving them and not evolve and not change. So this is where they're at. They are taking it too far. Me personally, if I'm Regal, I would have made a personal phone call to these guys instead of making it a big public spectacle and making it about him and then pitting sides against each other and calling people out on their hustle. This is their hustle, man. This is how they get over, you know. And now we get somebody calling them, you know, reckless and this and that. He's not wrong. I just would have made it a behind the doors conversation instead of making it a social media post.
Well, sure. I mean, I agree with you there. He might have still done that. We don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly think it was more kind of aimed at Tony Khan and the leadership of AEW more so than Kyle Fletcher. You know, and you know the history that he has with John Moxley. I'm sure he's called John Moxley. I'm sure he's talked to John Moxley and Brian. They all work together. They all train together. So I think it was more of hey, Tony, get your fucking ship in order here and stop the shit. Please. You're going to fucking let someone die on your television show and then everyone's going to point the finger of blaming you or at you and at AEW. So yeah, I don't know why these spots are really needed. You know, Darby wrestles the same every match. It's like, let's get beat up for 80% of it and then try and make a defiant babyface comeback against all odds. We've seen it, we've been there, and we've done that. So they did play it up here with Pac's ankle, which was the reason why he was out previously. There was a big spot on the outside where Pac did an awesome bomb from the ring on the entrance ramp. Pac waited in the corner thinking that Darby wouldn't make it back in the ring, but he eventually got back in the ring and broke the count at a 9 and flipped Pac off with the middle finger. So he jumped to the mat from the second rope and he, quote unquote, tweaked his ankle. This was a work. This is all planned. He did not get hurt. Allen pounced. He sent Pac outside, hit a coffin drop to the top, or off the top rope, and then another onto the apron, which looked worse for Darby than it looked for Pac. Back inside, referee Paul Turner got too close, asking Pac if he wanted to continue in the corner as Pac pulled him in and Turner took the bullet from a charging Darby Allin. So the referee was down. Allin shot a double leg and sank in the Scorpion Deathlock. Pac ended up tapping, but the Death Riders make their presence known and run to the ring. Wheeler Yuta sprinted out with a chair. He suffered a Scorpion Death Drop from Darby. Allin hit another one on Pac before placing the chair around the injured ankle, and the angle was Allin Pillmanizing Pac's ankle with a coffin drop on the chair on the ankle. He then reapplied the Scorpion Deathlock, and Pac tapped out as soon as Paul Turner recovered. Post-match, Allin rolled to the ramp as the rest of the Death Riders checked on Pac. Bryan Danielson questions if this win and defeating all the Death Riders will bring Darby Allin peace. How could it bring Darby Allin peace, like I mentioned before, if Jon Moxley's the Continental Champion and he's stronger now than he was in July? What are you talking about? This doesn't even make sense. So he's just going to let them continue to run the show and do what they want? I beat everybody. Now I go on to do my next thing. What type of story is that?
I'm happy now. I'm good.
Yeah, I beat all of them. I'm happy now. But they're still fucking destroying the company.
But he's a babyface now.
I don't know.
It's so weird, man.
I don't know. All of it, legitimately, all of it does not make a lick of sense whatsoever. I don't know how anybody doesn't pick up on it and how you are invested in what's going on here. All I'm left asking is, how the fuck could you find yourself invested in this? I don't know. He wins.
No, it should always come back to it should always come back to what are the fans excited about in regards to this wrestler next. What am I looking forward to next week? What am I looking for? I can't wait to see next week because I want to see blank. You know, Darby just beat Pac for the first time. Okay, now what? What am I excited for next? Another wrestling match. Sweet. After that, what you got planned for me? Ooh, this time it's a wrestling match. You know, that's it. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about it's just boring. It's just boring. We know there's going to be wrestling matches, but what else you got? You know, did he take his car? Did he steal his luggage at the airport? Was he sleeping with his wife? Did he steal his Amazon packages from his front porch and he wants to fight him for that? You know, what is the reason? I'm playing Need for Speed right now because it's this month's free game on the PlayStation Network. And it's a racing game. You know, it's about racing. Who get the fastest car and who races. But even in this racing game, they've managed to put stories in between the races. You have to race this guy if you want to get invited into our car club. You can't come to our car club unless you beat this guy in a sprint race. Well, now I got to beat this guy in a sprint race. So you got to race. Next week, oh, well, you can't enter this club without this kind of Mercedes. So you got to beat this guy in the race to get there. There's reasons for the race. It's not just the storyline is week 1 is a race. And week 2 is a race. And week 3 is a race. And week 4 is why are they wrestling? Week 1 is a wrestling match. Great. Why? Week 2 is a wrestling match. Okay. Why? Get to it. What is the importance of it? Not just the type. I mean, they haven't grasped that yet. And that's why wrestling is stale across the fucking board right now, too.
I listen, you are absolutely correct. Why? The most important question in all of pro wrestling is why. What are you giving me, and why is it important? Darby Allin wrestling to beat Pac because he needs to beat the Death Riders, every single one of them, so it brings him peace, is not a fucking story. I don't find myself emotionally invested in Pac losing to Darby Allin or Darby getting his win back over Pac. The Death Riders are bigger and better than ever than any point in 2025. So how is Darby able to sleep at night knowing that Moxley is still the champion? Does nobody grasp that in the company? Or maybe I'm just too fucking stupid to see AEW's rhyme or reason. Which is it? It's not the latter. Shit like this pisses me off. This right here, this entire thing, chat, circle it in big red fucking highlighters. The reason why this company is failing. You're not giving anybody a reason to watch. What is the reason to watch this? Why? Why do you care? Oh, it's Darby Allin. He's a death-defying wrestler. We like seeing him get beat up. No, I'm going to need more than that.
That's not enough.
Darby's going to need to do more than fucking kill himself and end his career by the age of 35. I'm going to need more. Jon Moxley's the Continental Champion, and he's stronger than he was in July. How are you going to be taking the Darby character into this feud with Pac and then calling it a day? Wasn't the whole point of him coming down from the mountain to end the Death Riders? No, but Jon Moxley's got creative control, so the Death Riders aren't going anywhere. Give me a fucking break. You want to laugh? Adam Page. He clearly wants the AEW World Championship. So does Swerve. So does Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, now we know he lost Powerhouse Hobbs. Still has the services of Hook and Katsuyori Shibata. Not really looking like a strong group there. So what does he do, Jesse? Samoa Joe enlists a bounty hunter in Brian Keith, sets a bounty on Hangman because he won't do it himself right now. So he sends Brian Keith with Big Bill out there to Dispatch of the Cowboy. Bro, we are so fucking creatively gone that Tony Khan booked Samoa Joe enlisting the bounty hunter, Brian Keith, to go take out the Cowboy and Adam Page. What the fuck are we doing? And again, why? Why would you care about Brian Keith, who's been absolutely fucking non-existent on this show, and give this guy a shot in the dark of beating Adam Page?
You were the world champion. You were the world champion. You lost, to let's be honest, he was the better man that day. Hangman, he beat you. All right. You got beat by the better man. And you were world champion. You know who you faced at the top of the card. You know who the big names are. You know the Will Ospreay, the Kenny Omegas, the Swerve Stricklands. But you want to get back at the guy who beat you. So what you do, you called the goddamn bounty hunter, baby. What?
He called the bad apple, bro.
Wow. That was it. He acted like he called the APA or something, man. He called the bounty hunter. You know what would have been amazing? You know what would have been cool? If all of a sudden, if Joe said, I got somebody to take care of his ass. You'll find out next week. And then he had 4 masked men come in and attack Adam Page, and it's the goddamn rascals, all of them. I mean, that would have been something interesting, but you hired the bounty hunter. Why? Because his name is Bounty Hunter? That's the reason why? What, are you going to hire Bandido to rob a stagecoach? I mean, this makes no sense. I don't understand it. You're going to hire the pizza guy to make you a pizza and catering? It's just this gimmick. He's not a bounty hunter. Oh, God. I don't know. I don't get it. Well, if I'm Adam Page, I'm supposed to be scared. I'm shaking in my boots, right?
Can someone please fill me in on what Samoa Joe and bounty hunter Brian Keith have to do with each other? Did I miss the memo? Did I miss something? Did they even cross paths before? When was the last time that they even interacted on this show? Or are we just throwing shit at the wall without any effort whatsoever just to fill fucking mindless 15 minutes of television, which this match went more than fucking 12 minutes. Adam Page, a former 2-time world champion, was taken to the limit by Brian Keith, but I guess they had to live up to the bounty hunter gimmick, huh? They couldn't let him just fucking put a bounty on Adam Page and then get fucking jobbed out. Am I missing something here? This is a company that is creatively fucking lost. You need any more of a reason? This is all you need. This should be fucking absolutely called out for the ridiculousness that it is. Not even going to go over it because it's predictable. Nobody expected this fucking loser to go out there and beat Adam Page. I don't get it. Swerve Strickland, he showed up with a chain. He choked out Big Bill on the outside. This allowed Page to take out Keith with a buckshot lariat. Goodbye. Back to catering you go. Post-match, Page grabbed the microphone and said Brian Keith is a dumbass. And before telling Samoa Joe he's going to take everything from him, Strickland says he has a message for MJF. If he's victorious tonight, it means he lost, as we will be coming after him relentlessly. Page and Strickland look right into the camera as Strickland says it's been a while since he's been the world champion. And this year we get back to the top of the mountain and make this Swerve's house. After that, Kenny Omega's music hit, and he was surprised by the amount of pyro that they gave him where he started making funny faces in the aisleway, like he almost got blinded or burned by the fucking amount of pyro that was going off in his face. Omega, Page, and Strickland all in the ring with microphones. Page gave him a smile while Strickland did not look happy to see Omega. Omega says he has his own time etched out for what he's going to say. So why not come out here now when all three of the greatest AEW champions are sharing a ring? Omega doesn't want to speak for anybody else, but it feels like they all have something in common. When the fans called Omega the god of pro wrestling, it meant something. And if they still believe, so does Omega. Being an EVP, you just can't snap your fingers and get a title shot. You have to earn a title shot, and he's got to get some wins. So whether it's friend or foe, he's coming after the title. Page said, unfortunately, this isn't a team effort. So if they do eventually cross paths on the way to the championship, sincerely, may the best man win. Page and Omega shook hands. Page left the ring. Strickland gave a long stare at Omega before leaving with Prince Nana. Omega was about to do his usual good night, goodbye, bang, but out comes the Don Callis family, and he's out there with Lance Archer, Josh Alexander, and Rocky Romero. These are solidly number 9, 10, and 11 in the Don Callis family, so the bottom of the barrel. Saying he has something important to say, Callis said Omega wants to wrestle, huh? How about you wrestle against the man who broke Kota Ibushi's leg? Josh Alexander. Omega told Uncle Don he could barely hear him over the fans calling him an asshole, but the fans chanting asshole, was cool and all, but he tells Alexander he has a little bit of time tonight, so let's do it tonight. If the fans want it, if Tony Khan wants it, he's ready to go. Callis stopped Alexander and said, Omega forgot how their relationship works. You do what Daddy says. Daddy decides what happens when matches happen up here, and it's next week on Dynamite. I think Daddy is Tony Khan, basically. So next week on Dynamite, we're getting Omega and Josh Alexander. Callis family leaves as Omega says today was the big first step, phase 1 of Kenny Omega becoming the AEW World Champion once again. Now, Jesse, it was 3 months ago where Andrade El Idolo made his return to AEW before WWE levied a 1-year non-compete down upon him, took him off AEW television, sat him home while he pondered what his life choices would be like from here on out, working in Mexico, working in Puerto Rico. Now he's back with AEW, and he was brought back last week in the same way that they re-debuted him 3 months ago by attacking Kenny Omega. It was only last week that he attacked Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. So you would think that of all the things the Don Callis family would go and kind of cycle back to, it would be Andrade. Of all the things that Kenny Omega would want to take and make a priority and take care of first, it would be getting revenge on Andrade. So the way that I look at it, we just made fun of AEW and Tony Khan for giving us Adam Page versus the Bounty Hunter. And here they are, Jesse. Not only did they forget that Kyle Fletcher injured, quote unquote, Kenny Omega before Forbidden Door, but now we have a situation where they seemingly have not even made a single mention of Andrade attacking Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega hasn't mentioned a single thing about Andrade taking him out 3 months ago. What exactly are we doing, and why has AEW become so forgetful with their storylines, thinking that we all of a sudden just don't remember?
I think they just dropped it. I don't know if they think we forgot. I mean, that can't be it. There's too many internet sleuths out there who keep, reminding people. I think they just dropped it and they just want us to drop it, I guess. But I'm going to be honest. I don't care that much. Is it a drop storyline? Yeah. Is it something so juicy and so good that I can't wait for them to come back to? No. So if they drop it, whatever, man. I mean, hopefully it's for something better.
But why did they bring him back if they were going to treat him like everybody else? Now he's on Collision Wrestling and Helico in his re-debut match.
Yeah, I would figure if they're going to bring him back, he should be in the main event picture. He should be at the top of the card.
Something.
Hell, he's got a lot of fucking publicity from all of this drama that happened by getting him. They should have capitalized on that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, use it. I would use it. I would use it in a storyline. When he came back and he did his finishing move in the ring, I sat there and said they should call that move the non-contract, the no-compete clause. I mean, just have some fun. Make it something different. I don't fucking know, but this is just cookie cutter. It's boring. They're going to, just stash them somewhere until they're ready. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with them, but there's nothing of excitement. I can tell you that right now.
I don't, as a fan, it frustrates me that we get these things on television. Like, you're actively making us watch the show. Like, we review the show, right? You give us 2 hours of television, expect us to watch, and not say anything about the things that you seemingly have forgotten about or dropped. Like, we physically watched it. So the fact that it doesn't get any follow-up or any explanation, I mean, I don't understand why Tony Khan thinks that nobody's going to call the shit out. Like, you gave me a reason to why this guy came back, and you gave him a mission to attack Kenny Omega. So now all of a sudden he's back and he doesn't give a shit about Omega, and Omega doesn't give a shit about him?
Nah. He's over it.
I guess Kenny is the mature one, and he forgives and forgets, huh?
Yeah, he just moved on.
Sure.
Like, shine, it's fine, whatever.
Renee is walking backstage with Brody King, asking his thoughts on tonight's main event between MJF and Bandido. They're interrupted by John Cruz, the language interpreter for MJF here, telling him to tell his masked friend to never put his hands on him again. Brody King said, that's fine, but I'm up next in a standby match. And Cruz says, well, I'm wearing a suit. You can't wrestle me. And Brody King went on to wrestle John Cruz in a standby match. What exactly is a standby match, Jesse? And why do we get Brody King in standby matches now the last couple of weeks?
A standby match is a match if you have 20 minutes slotted for a match to happen, and say the match goes 2 minutes, you have a standby match ready to fill that time slot for TV. True story.
So Brody King is a standby guy.
That's all he is. It's not that important. Oh, but he is getting ready to mix it up with the world champion. That's right.
Okay.
Right. Forgot about that part.
Fantastic. We got post-match saying here from Brody King on the microphone, he told Bandido he wants to see him kick MJF's ass, and it'll be an honor to face Bandido for the AEW title, and he walks away saying he will be the first new champion of the new year. Okay. There you go.
The first new champion. I'm like,
it's great to have dreams and aspirations there, Brody.
There you go. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Party match. Can't have an AEW Dynamite without a party match. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus the Gates of Agony, JetSpeed. It's Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. And the Don Callis family, Mark Davis and Jake Doyle, Jesse. Jake Doyle. Sounds like I'm going to an Irish pub. Sounds like we're going to an Irish pub, bro, and having a glass of Guinness.
Yeah,
Jake Doyle's.
There you go. Davis and Doyle, or Doyle and Davis.
What do you think of Jake something? That being Jake Doyle, bro.
I guess they couldn't use Jake something. I don't know.
That's his real name. That's his government name, Jake Doyle.
Jake something, and I'm a Chicagoan, so I'm gonna call him Jake something for a while longer. So pardon me. He's actually really good. He's actually really good. Very intense. He is a solid mid-card guy. He never made it to ever be like a top guy, but that doesn't mean he sucks. He's very good. Somewhere in a tag team might be what's best for him. I just don't know about Mark Davis though. I don't know if that's the best fit for your new guy. So.
Well, I will say, as a tag team, they look the part. They look pretty good together.
Yeah, and it might get over, man. It might get over because I know something is pretty good. But I also know that Mark Davis has not quite gotten himself over here yet. So I'm not sure if it's gonna translate. I don't know if Jake is gonna help Mark Davis. I know Mark Davis is not in a position to help Jake get over. So we'll see. I mean, we're rolling the dice here, but I don't know if we put our new guy in the best position to get himself over by putting him with Mark Davis right away. I mean, but I'll give him this much. It's better than just sticking him in the Don Callis family. Oh wait, they did that, didn't they? Yeah.
You know, Andrade rejoined the Don Callis family last week, Jesse. I know you watched the show. He wasn't even the first new addition to the Don Callis family last week. It was Jake Doyle and then Andrade. We're up to 16 now, bro. I think 16, 15 or 16. Easy.
They have more members than Mercedes has titles.
And we're not even counting Brian Cage, who's out with injury, and Trent Beretta, who's not on television.
There you go.
And Wardlow, who's injured.
Bro, how is he injured? You have to wrestle to get injured. How was he injured?
I don't know, man. He got injured at Forbidden Door by attacking Swerve after the Okada match, and then we never seen him again. No, we did see him a week after that. He was fixing his cufflinks at the ECW arena, and all of a sudden we found out he was injured. I guess he pulled a muscle fixing his cufflinks in Philadelphia.
Unbelievable, man.
Anyway, party match. Ricochet's on commentary, so you can guarantee they lost viewers with him on the microphone. So we'll pick it up after the break here. Kevin Knight tried a rolling lariat. Doyle threw himself at him with a huge body block midair. Jake Something is very good. I will give him that.
He's good.
Don't know how TNA dropped the ball on Jake Something. I don't know how they didn't bring back the Rascals, but apparently, according to SAP, they said Tony Khan offered them way too much money and they couldn't resist. So TNA was never going to have the funds to bring back the Rascals if they even wanted to. So Nick floated over a double hip toss as Matt joined in for a huge assisted pop-up drop kick before sending Davis crashing down to the outside. Nick floated over, punted Davis in the face. Matt hits a somersault stunner off the apron. JetSpeed and the Bucks hit stereo quadruple dives from the top before Knight ate a super kick. Bailey, he gets back up. Pump kick, leg sweep, moonsault, double knees. Knight flew him with a springboard lariat on Matt for a double down. Doyle tried a big move on Nick. Bishop Kaun put a stop to it. That caused Doyle to tumble to the outside. Oh, Doyle rules! Gotta love Doyle. GOA laid waste to the Bucks. Fall from grace, which is their finish. Takes out Nick, but Knight broke up the count. Toa Liona tried a double Samoan drop on the Bucks. Bailey somehow hit a ultimate weapon onto the big pile of bodies here before Knight flew halfway across the ring with a big UFO splash. Bishop Kaun broke up the count. Bailey charged, only ate a super kick from the Bucks. They ramped up super kick party. Toa Liona ate 4 of them before Bailey was set up and took enough of a bounce back double stomp powerbomb combo. Kevin Knight took a BTE trigger. Ricochet then mercifully got off commentary and pulled Rick Knox out of the ring during the count. Ricochet says he can't be disqualified because there's no rules. And then all of a sudden, Jack Perry flew out of nowhere. He tackled Ricochet down and started brawling with Ricochet right in front of the commentary table. Davis and Doyle were left in the ring with JetSpeed as Bailey fired off multiple kicks, roundhouse to Doyle, and it eventually ended with the pile driver from Mark Davis. Big stuff pile driver, 1, 2, 3, and Davis and Doyle are now the number 1 contenders for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Post-match FTR's music hit. They rolled Stokely out, who's in a wheelchair. Davis and Doyle mockingly applaud as Wheeler and Harwood get in the ring, hold up their titles, have a face-to-face with the new tag team here. Nobody made a peep in the crowd because they're both heel teams. Security and referees set the ring. Callis said his guys needed to pound these 2 hillbillies. FTR retreat. Stokely watched from his wheelchair. Sadly, he did not make the miracle and get up from the wheelchair. Eventually, though. Eventually it will. We got 2 heel tag teams here, bro, for the tag team titles. FTR and Doyle and Davis. Are you even remotely interested in what's going on here?
I'm actually more interested in Doyle and Davis than FTR. I hope they win. I sincerely hope they win. I really, really do.
Do you know FTR? FTR bald here. You know Dax deleted his Twitter.
He did. I didn't know.
He deleted his Twitter. I don't know what happened, but he deleted his Twitter.
I got smart. I
Goodbye.
Need to delete mine. It is. Bro, it's a fucking toxic cesspool, man. It's unnecessary drama.
Does anybody know what happened to Cope and Christian? Are we even going to get that to play out? And if it does, I mean, who's going to give a shit? It's been since September. It's like 4.5 months now where we've got nothing but silence. Like, I thought that was the whole plan, no?
You see that Mascara Dorada and Persephone have dual contracts now?
With AEW and CMLL.
Yeah. They officially announced.
Man, Man, Tony Khan is in buy-in mode, man. He's worried about something over there.
It's the beginning of the year, man. I think this is when a lot of contracts are ending. That's why I think we're seeing. That's why we're seeing all these moves. So,
Non-factors in both of them. Not non-factors. Nobody cares.
Persephone could be interesting. There could be some interesting women's matches. Mascara Dorada, just another mass luchador, bro.
Yeah.
Get in line. Yeah, bro. I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I love Edge. I love Christian, and I specifically love what Christian was doing in AEW. I hope he returns soon. Edge with Christian is just not. It doesn't seem like it's a good fit. I know they tried forcing it in there, and they did the right way, keeping Christian heel and Edge babyface ish. But putting them with FTR, I mean, it's gonna be a one-off. I mean, what's the long-term plan? Bring them back, do that one feud, then what?
There's nothing. There's nothing for them, bro. Even if they are tag team champions, there's legitimately nothing for them that's going to be substantial enough in the later stages now. I mean, Edge is what? He's knocking on death's door here for retirement. Like,
yeah.
Well, what exactly do you do with him in a meaningful way if he wins the tag team championships outside of the predictable, let's work with the Young Bucks?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's
or are we actually headed for FTR Young Bucks? What was this? 6 or 7 now?
Probably we got babyface Bucks and heel and heel FTR. That's what we're getting, man.
Oh my God, man.
That's exactly what we're getting.
So Doyle and Davis, they're the number one contenders for the AEW Tag Team titles. When this match takes place, I think they mentioned it on Collision or I don't know, a couple of weeks from tonight. Who the fuck knows? I mean, they gave them this win because they needed to make sure everybody knows this is the new guy. Let's give them a win. This is the new team. Let's give them a new win. But are they really going to win? They won to lose. They're not taking the belts off FTR. Give me a break.
They got to win. Usually new hires come in and lose.
I know.
So they got some. Ace Austin lost his debut. So did a couple of other people. They lost. So it's a start.
Skyflight backstage with Christopher Daniels said Collision this week is a big week for them. Oh man, I can't wait to watch this big week. Not. Zeta Steel, apparently, is the newest member of Skyflight, being that Layla Gray is out with an ACL tear.
How did she get hurt?
She wrestled Mercedes. And got hurt.
Jesus.
On Collision. So Zeta Steel is the newest member of Skyflight. I like Zeta Steel. I think she's great. Called out Maroon Shafir saying she's a bully. She's actually the bully of bullies. Top Flight can exchange, or rather, they said they can change El Clan, being said Fletcher and Josh Alexander aren't ready. Sky Flight go on to say everyone is worried about what's next when they should be worried about now. Christopher Daniels said the morning doesn't matter when you can't survive the night. We're told Sky Flight versus El Clan, Fletcher, and Josh Alexander. Also, Steele versus Shafir is happening on Collision. Bro, did you see El Clan's debut on Saturday night? Did you watch?
No.
El Clan is now officially part of Saturday Night Collision, bro. He's officially a collider.
Oh. I never thought I'd miss what's his name? Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero? We're talking about Mortal Kombat, or are we talking about Hologram?
Hologram, that's him. Sub-Zero, Hologram, same thing.
Get over here!
Yeah. No, that's Scorpion. Don't be ridiculous, bro. Don't be ridiculous. That's Scorpion. We're talking about Sub-Zero.
Oh, man.
You know he was building up for this big Hologram El Clan feud, and then Hologram went down the instant he came on with the okay. Oh.
Your soul is mine.
Sub-Zero. Get it right. Fucking Sub-Zero.
Oh, man. Who What's your favorite Mortal Kombat character, bro?
Scorpion.
Okay, see?
Scorpion.
I knew that without knowing it. See?
I was deadly with those teleports and that harpoon, man. I was deadly with it.
Yeah, I don't think I had a favorite Mortal Kombat character. I'd probably go Scorpion as well. Him or Reptile.
Scorpion, then Sub-Zero.
Anyway, the team of Davis and Doyle, the new number one contenders, they earned a future shot at the tag team titles. They pinned JetSpeed, so they continue to be losers on the show. But I'm assuming they're going to win the trios titles because something was set up later in the show. We got Statlander here, AEW Women's Champion, and the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, who is also the new TBS champion, as she beat Mercedes a couple of weeks ago. They are wrestling the Triangle of Madness. Julia Sky Blue, she needed the money. Oh! And Tekla. Jesse, Tekla. We love Tekla. Tekla's getting a little bit more important on the show, Jesse. Tekla.
She's so good, man.
You know?
So good.
She may be the new world champion.
Good.
Could be. I don't know. What do you think about Willow being the TBS champion, bro? You like that decision?
I like Willow, man. Anything with Willow succeeding, I'm okay with. You know, I mean, she falls under the same category as everybody else. I would love to see more story out of her, but I'm all about Willow, man. Willow is Willow's my AEW Bailey. You know, she's just such a likable character. Like, how do you not like her? You know, she's such a nice person and a good wrestler. I like Willow.
Mercedes Mone apparently is now crestfallen. She is depressed. She is diving into depression here. There was a great promo vignette that they uploaded to their YouTube channel where she was looking into the mirror and she had cream cake all over her face. Some say she was cream pied, but I was told yesterday on Solomonster or on TNT by the Solomonster that pie is different from cake. There's a clear difference. So she had some creamy substance on her face.
Not doing this.
Regardless, I joke, I kid, I'm only joking. Mercedes got a great promo. I love the way this was shot. It was very cinematic. She was looking into the mirror while looking at us at the same time, but when she wanted to make a point, she looked back at the camera, right into the lens. And she said, Jesse, when she comes back, she's taking a break from AEW. She wants to see what the division looks like without her presence. But when she comes back, she said she's taking more than just titles, bro. So I don't know if she actually called up Dwayne and got a lesson in taking souls. Maybe Mercedes is the one who sold her soul to Dwayne. Maybe Mercedes is The Rock's champion. We don't know. But apparently she's coming back for more than just titles, Jesse. What does that mean to you?
What the fuck does that mean? What else is she coming back for then?
She's coming back as the newest version of The Undertaker in 2026.
Your soul is mine.
She needs a break.
And we need a break from Mercedes.
She needs a hiatus. She's not the only one. Like, quite a few people there need creatively, their gimmicks, their characters need a hiatus. John Moxley, Mercedes. You know, I mean, a few of these guys can use a good reset. So hopefully she comes back with a better run than the original one, because it just wasn't it for me.
We'll see. I don't know who the champion's going to be when she does return, but I'm assuming she's going to come back and target what she has not been able to win, and that is the AEW World Championship. Just keep in mind that AEW is going to Sydney, Australia in February, so we'll keep an eye on if Toni Storm is going to be in the main event of that show, challenging for the World Championship again and winning it for a fifth or sixth time. I lost count, so we'll see. Yeah. The ladies here, this was fine. I mean, there's always something that goes awry in these women's matches. They're not the most smooth. They're not the most crisp. But I will say, at the end of this, Tekla took out Statlander. Nightingale met her with a discus lariat. Nightingale wanted a doctor bomb, which Tekla spun out of, did her spider pose, went to spear Nightingale, but Statlander took the bullet. Curb stomp delivered to Stat. And Tekla, Jesse, pins the AEW Women's World Champion. So if we follow the handbook of Pro Wrestling 101, the champion was pinned by said upcoming challenger. And I think we have a new championship match on the horizon here for Tekla.
Yeah, and then the challenger loses.
I do not see Tekla winning the title.
No, I mean, for the first and foremost, it's just too soon, and they haven't built up to a title change. They have a way of just making these title attempts just not special anymore. I mean, how awesome would it be to see Tekla get on a nice little win streak and then finally get a world title match? And it's a match that who knows if she's going to win, because Stat has been champion for a while and tension's been building. They have a story, and no, she got pinned, or she got the pin here, so we know she's gonna get a title match, and then she's gonna lose the title match and then get put back in the shuffle again. Cookie cutter, man.
What exactly is the story here? Like, I'm still struggling to figure out what the whole issue is here. Like, what is the reason? What is the why, and why these women are fighting? Why are they feuding? Does anybody know? Or is it just over championships? Is it just because they got randomly lumped together and this is what we're doing now? Go out there and wrestle, ladies. Go out there and wrestle.
They can fight over their significant others.
I guess.
We can have Kyle Fletcher versus Big Shotty out there, you know. I mean, just
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Renee's backstage with JetSpeed talking about their rocky starts at 2026. They didn't have a good 2025 either, so I don't know. Swerve Strickland interrupts and says, whatever he and Bailey mix it up in AEW, they're going to have a fire match. Strickland told Knight that he's the future of the business. Before Knight could respond, Hangman walks in, and he told Samoa Joe he's going to take everything from him. This Saturday, he's going to take the trios titles from the Ops. So Hangman and JetSpeed will be against the Ops, which Bailey was shocked to hear, and asked Paige if he was for real. Bailey is such a loser in AEW, he was surprised that he even got a championship opportunity.
He was surprised that somebody of importance wanted to have a match with him. Really?
Paige,
You're like a Make-A-Wish kid. What?
I know. Are you for real? Are you telling me the truth here? Yeah.
You're a pro wrestler, and you should think that you're one of the best. So if this guy comes, he wants to team with you, I'm going to team with you guys. All right, cool. Don't be, oh my God.
I get a title match. I don't believe it. Paige said, of course, I made the match. Apparently, Paige is now the matchmaker.
I'm making the match.
He just made the match and walked away with JetSpeed high-fiving each other because they got a championship opportunity on Saturday. Now, someone in the chat said, and I'm going to spoil it because, I mean, it's no surprise, Hangman and JetSpeed are the new trios champions.
Hangman and JetSpeed, the trios. Oh, okay. Get a title on Hangman.
Great. The trios championships, which meant nothing, now belong to Hangman and JetSpeed.
Well, they had to get him off Hobbs.
I guess they did.
Oh, there you go.
That's exactly what happened. Hobbs worked his last match and went out with the right mindset, putting over talent.
There you go.
He probably took the pin too.
Look at the lights. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. Main event, MJF, AEW World Champion against the Ring of Honor World Champion, Bandido. This was for the AEW Championship. The Ring of Honor title was not on the line. This was a good match. There's no way that these two are capable of having a bad match. But there was rarely, or barely, I should say, any story coming into this. They tried their best to kind of sell the tension between the two with John Cruz, the interpreter, last week. And MJF went on to mock the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and he said that he had 6 of them, and Bandido was a fraudulent ring holder, and he wanted the ring back.
I like that guy.
John Cruz is good, yeah.
Yes. It's Serpentico.
Yes.
I like this version of him 100 times better than his previous version. They got something here. This guy can be a fantastic manager. This guy should be on TV every goddamn week.
Yeah, he's a good heat magnet.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So they tried to make the most of it. MJF tried to make the most of it. Bandido held his own last week, saying that I speak English, you son of a bitch. He does. Yeah. He speaks very good English. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. MJF tried to mock the three amigos. He did the shimmy, and Bandido powered through and delivered a stalling vertical suplex for a reset. So the arm was injured here. Bandido working with one arm delivers a one-arm gorilla press, but MJF avoided the 21-plex and hit a double stomp to the bad arm out of the corner. Bandido sidesteps the charge, completely clears the top rope for a somersault suicida. MJF leapt over the barricade to create some distance. Bandido went up top and said, fuck that, and cleared the entire barricade and wiped out MJF in the crowd with a big crossbody. Great spot. Both men back inside now. Bandido delivered a big tornado for a 2 count, which was followed up with a poison Rana and a code red for a near fall. Bandido wanted a 21-plex, but MJF held on while Bandido's bad arm gave out. MJF stunned Bandido with a big boot, wanted a heat seeker. He was thrown off, only to hit a slingshot cutter for a 2. Now back on the apron, MJF looked for the heat seeker again. He missed. He tries a cutter. This time Bandido had it scouted, hit an enziguri, followed by the shooting star press for 2. MJF floated over a 21-plex, avoided a code red into a small package as both trade 2 counts into a 1 count, and they go back and forth, back and forth. This is a thing that MJF does in a match with a babyface where they just have the referee obsessively count over and over and over again with a myriad of near falls. So Bandido got the closest near fall of the match in one of these sequences. X-knee caught MJF flush as Bandido hits the 21-plex. Couldn't keep the bridge, though, because of the bad arm. MJF, he did this same thing last week. He just comically holds the rope, bent over, holding the second rope, telegraphing the 21-plex, completely making it look absolutely unnatural. Did you see that?
So fucking stupid.
It's so he looks ridiculous.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times he did it tonight.
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, there's got to be a way to make that look a little bit more natural without standing there for a good 7 to 8 seconds, knowing that the move is coming.
He's like, oh, time for your spot? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over here and just bend over for you. Here you go.
Yeah, he looks ridiculous. The delay allowed MJF to kick out. Right into the salt of the earth. Bandido tried crawling to the ropes. MJF repositioned it into a label lock. Bandido flipped MJF off, and he faded. So he did not tap. He passed out. Post-match, an exhausted MJF took the microphone and said that when he laughed, he laughed when he heard people call Bandido a future world champion, but after wrestling him tonight, they were right. As much as it pains him, Bandido will be a world champion one day in AEW. Unfortunately, that means MJF has to do this. So he slammed the AEW title belt onto Bandido, and he signaled that he was going to unmask him. Brody King sprinted out. MJF hightailed it to the back. Brody King helped Bandido up, and that's the way the show went off the air. No real solid story to look forward to going into next week. We need more than MJF trying to demask Bandido. What is the big hook going into next week? Does anybody know?
Nope.
What is the reason? What is the why? Why do you watch Dynamite next week? What's the story on Dynamite that's going to say, let me properly sit down at 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS and Max? What is it?
Because I have a podcast to do.
Because I have a show with Jesse to do on Wednesday nights, yes.
That's the reason.
That's the reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be watching this fucking absolute slop on Wednesday night.
I'm not going to lie, bro. If I wasn't streaming, I don't know if I'll be watching pro wrestling right now.
No, it's bad. It's terrible, bro.
I can't think of any pro wrestling that I sit and genuinely watch for fun. What I would probably do is watch pay-per-views. I'll be interested to see if anything, and I'm not paying $50 for a pay-per-view. I will watch WWE pay-per-views because they're on a network. That's it. WrestleMania, I'm definitely watching. The Rumble, I might have a Rumble party at my house. I don't know. You know, those are fun. Those are fun wrestling things to do. But watching the weekly show, I would feel like a football fan who doesn't watch the weekly games, but just shows up for the Super Bowl. That would be me.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
You and a lot of people are doing that.
Yep.
You know? Collision, Maximum Carnage. They got the same theme for Saturday night. This is what it looks like on Saturday night. I'm not sure if Jesse's going to bring back Collision Corner. You bring back Collision Corner next week?
I am gonna try to. I low key tried to do it today, and I get wrapped up in all kinds.
That's all right. Nobody cares. That's fine.
Everybody cares.
I know they care about Collision Corner, but I don't think people realize that you were back tonight. So we'll pick it up next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best, Chad. I tried to get. I swear at everything. My wife can attest to that. I tried to get it done today, but I'll get it done next week.
Collision Corner next week, hopefully. This is the collision that we have to look forward to on Saturday. The Ops Mojo, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kachi Shibata against Adam Page and JetSpeed. We just broke the news that there is a new trios champion in AEW in Adam Page and JetSpeed. Eddie Kingston is now teaming with Ortiz, who is back against the grizzled young veterans, Zach Gibson and James Drake. They should absolutely be on the show more than they are. Excellent tag team. Andrade versus Angelico. Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, and El Clan against Skyflight. Zeta Steel versus Marina Shafir. And Jack Perry versus Anthony Bowens for a shot at the national title.
Okay.
And Anna Jay, actually not Anna Jay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Anna Jay. I mean, you can't blame me. Megan, I just mentioned Jack Perry. That's why I mentioned Anna Jay. Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. She's back, Jesse. Penelope Ford is now cleared. They will both be in action. Tag team action.
All right.
And Dynamite next week. The only thing announced is Kenny Omega versus Josh Alexander.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I'm excited.
That's your AEW Dynamite coverage for this Wednesday, the 14th of January. Does anybody care? No. It's slow everywhere, and AEW is not doing anything to generate any interest.
I want to care.
So do I.
I want to care.
So do I. You guys don't care because we'll be in and out of here fairly quickly, seeing the super chats have been not very exciting tonight. So we're going to read through these, and then I'm going to hop on Arc Raiders because I got nothing else better to do. So
you're still playing Arc Raiders?
I am. I love it. It's great. Triple M, if you're in the chat, we're doing the dungeon tomorrow, bro, okay? I got to get my exotic.
Yeah,
I haven't been on Destiny in 3 weeks.
Me either. I didn't play it all last week. So he's at work tonight. So he'll probably play it. I'm sure he'll play tomorrow.
Yeah. Dungeon tomorrow, bro.
All right.
Let's get to super chats, and then we'll get out of here. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Chi-Town Smart. Go follow Jesse on YouTube at Chi-Town Smart. Go and check the content on this channel. There's a good chunk of content here, and we'll be having more tomorrow. Obviously, I'll make a video on the Will Hobbs situation. I may actually make that tonight, be honest with you. So make sure you guys go and look for that. And check out TNT last night. Great discussion, as always, on Tuesday Night Titans. We're 130 episodes in. I don't believe it.
Wow.
Don't believe it, man. It's crazy. Don't know where the time goes, but Jason's great. So you guys are enjoying that on Tuesday live. We were live for Raw, and these European shows are going to be very early. 3 p.m. on Saturday in the United Kingdom, or Friday rather, and then Monday the same thing in Ireland. So we'll be watching till 6 or so, and then we'll probably be live around normal time. So we'll see what happens on Friday night. And then Monday as well with Raw in Ireland. And then the Rumble. The Rumble's coming up pretty quickly. 2 weeks till the Rumble.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hopefully things pick up, man. January's been very, very slow. So please go and do that. Hit that thumbs up. We need another 130 likes for the goal of 750. And leave a comment down below. Helps us out tremendously in Super Chats. Get them on in. If you guys want to get in some last-minute support, Super Chats are open.
I just put in the chat. I just took an edible right now. It's going to take a while to kick in.
All right, we'll get you out of here.
If the super chats keep coming in, it'll probably kick in before I get to leave.
Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD, Jesse, OTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Michael Krause, thank you, brother. Michelle Moran with a 2. Darby took out Pac. Does TK make him a Death Rider? I mean, there's nothing else that makes sense for him. You might as well.
Darby's a baby face for life, man.
Triple M with the 29 months. Thank you, brother. How much I have to pay Jesse to play a Dark Souls game or Elden Ring? I'll do it. Let me know if you guys want to still run the dungeon. My goats. Yes. Tomorrow, brother.
Yeah, dungeon tomorrow. If I can get my damn PC to work right.
Thank you, Triple M. Street Fighter with a $5 super chat. Hit the like button, OTS family. Yes, I agree. Charles 616 with a 5. AEW Dynamite lacking some carnage. It lacks some creativity as well. Ryan Sully with a 1 month. Hey, JD, Powerhouse Hobbs contract expires at midnight, and WWE sources expect he will sign there. OTS for life. Welcome back, Chi-Town Smark.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Justin with a 41 months. So TK signs ex-TNA stars before the AMC premiere. Very classy, TK. Yeah, Impact on AMC will dominate AEW. Also, 41 months in the venue. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Justin. Tribal Chief with 29 months. Instead of AEW, I was watching The Walking Dead. Jesse, glad you're back. Keep up the great work. Guys, OTS for life, pal. Thank you, Tribal Chief.
Thank you.
Tony Brown with the 499. JD, I have two places. Teklar can sit and trust and believe it ain't on its share. You mean Tekla? You mean Tekla, Tony? Tekla. Teklar sounds like a place in Destiny. Teklar.
Yeah, really.
Big E to win with 52 months. Glad you're back, Jesse. What do you think will be Powerhouse Hobbs' name in WWE? Obviously, it will be changed. Will Hobbs reunite with Ricky Starks? I could see it. I would love if he keeps the Powerhouse Hobbs name, but maybe what's better than a powerhouse? It'll be something Hobbs.
Who knows, man? I mean, it could. Who fucking knows? I mean, at least Vince is not there to come up with something stupid, though.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Alliot with a new membership. Thank you. Caden with a 199. No message. Thank you, Caden. Michael Krause with the 2. JD, are you still doing the TNA review tomorrow? Yes, I am. TNA review tomorrow night. Dalton Meister with a 5. Bro, just imagine Oba vs. Hobbs or Breaker vs. Hobbs. I'm excited to see him tear it up. He should fit like a glove. He will. And he's got people that are going to guide him and mold him the way he needed. He was never going to get that in AEW. He was like a roaming free in AEW. Tone VC with a $10 super chat. Concert season is looking pretty good this year. Looking forward to seeing Black Label Society in March. Going to see Alter Bridge for the time in May. Probably going to see Death Clock and Amon Amarth as well. Bro, I'm so excited for this Alter Bridge tour. They're playing with Chris Daughtry and Seven Dust. And apparently they're going to be playing Slave 2 Master live. It's going to be fucking great. Omega Con with a $10 super chat. Always good to see you, JD and Jesse. I was invited by my friends to go to Dynamite tonight. I stayed home. I had work. I could have rescheduled, but didn't. I love them, but saving money is the move. Don't worry, brother. We got you covered here. There's nobody that covers the show extensively like we do. Lone Crusader 206 with a $10 super chat. I'm honestly not surprised that Hobbs leaving for WWE. Spent most of his AEW career in factions, never getting a real chance to shine in a singles capacity. Plus, WWE goes to his home region more.
It don't matter what they were doing with Jade Cargill was booked as the most dominant talent on the entire roster, male or female. She was booked stronger than anybody in the company, and she went to WWE. It doesn't matter what they're doing. I mean, it's an opportunity that you would be kind of stupid to not take. If you've never been there before, you have to take that opportunity.
Bro, Jade went to WWE more so for her career after WWE. She signed immediately with Paradigm Talent Agency. She's got a great agent, and I think Nick LaPiccolo is her agent there, and she's gonna be a movie star. She wants to do Hollywood.
I can see her in movies. Absolutely.
So, I mean, that's why she went. She was never gonna get that in AEW.
No,
she knows where her bread and butter is. It's not pro wrestling.
No.
Lone Crusader with a $20 super chat. I hate how many wrestlers Kaun has kept on the shelf. Sheeta, for example, I don't even know where the fuck she is. Because she doesn't get booked by Kaun, despite being available most of 25 and most of 24, had become a full-time YouTube live streamer with this schedule. Good for her. She gained some notoriety and some name value in AEW, and she used that to turn it into a streaming career. Good for her. Tony doesn't give a shit. He's got new shiny toys that he's playing with. He forgot the old ones that he used to have.
Yeah.
NM94 with a 2. Need the Rascals in the Don Callis family. Bro, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. Honestly.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
They'll be number 16, 17, 18, and 19 in the Don Callis family. Might as well create a whole new wrestling promotion with the Don Callis family. Call it Don Callis Championship Wrestling. CCW, Callis Championship Wrestling. Jabril Mohammed with a 199. Jesse returns more than Roman Reigns. Missed you, buddy. Thank
it's
you,
time
man.
for Roman to come back. Thank you very much.
Roman's going to be in the Rumble. He may win the Rumble.
Why? What?
Roman Cody 3.
No.
Roman Cody 3, bro.
That's the best they got for Cody. Wait, Cody's not even champion anymore.
He's not, but I mean, that doesn't mean he won't win it back.
Oh, it's just getting stupid about a minute now, man.
We'll see. It's going to be Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens. Bradley Robinette with a 199. Where is Collision Corner? Is it returning? Next week. Next week. And my guy, the unfamous David Rice, with a $20 super chat. Overall, it wasn't the worst Dynamite tonight. I don't see the point in a heel versus heel tag team championship match. The Omega stuff is a little disjointed, but it wasn't terrible. Bro, if you really listen to us speak about it and break it down the way we do, it's fucking terrible. There's nothing about this show that is even remotely entertaining or remotely exciting. It is ice cold. As cold as the ice in my old fashioned. I'm Furious Nation with a $4.99. What's up, JD and Jesse? Hope all is well too, Jesse, and welcome back. It's crazy the Powerhouse Hobbs is WWE bound this fast. Happy for Hobbs.
Me too.
We are. Looking forward to what he does there. He should show up this week, honestly. I think he'll be on TV this week. Anyway, that's all we got. I wish you guys were a little bit more excited about Dynamite. But you're not. And it reflects. But what can we do? Hopefully it gets better. Anyway, man, we're about to get out of here. Any parting words, Jesse? Any final thoughts? Any final words you want to spit out before we get the hell out of here?
Man, let's go, man. I'm ready for 2026. If you are not subscribed, do so, because like I said, man, I'm gonna start a whole slew of content, man. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel.
There you go. Thank you guys very much for all your support. I will be in your sub boxes tomorrow. We got news to talk about with Powerhouse Hobbs and the Rascals. And then Friday we'll be live for Friday Night SmackDown from, I think they're in, where are they? They're in London. They're in London on Friday. And then they're in Dublin, Ireland on Monday. So we got the road to the Royal Rumble continuing. Follow us on social media at JD206, at Chi-Town Smart. Go check out the content on the channel. Hit that thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you in the sub boxes tomorrow with more content Friday live for Friday Night SmackDown. Until then, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you later.